Hello, hello, hello. It is that time again. Time to make art with Mrs. M. Today's project is brought to you by one of my favorite books, Where the Wild Things Are. I have rediscovered a love for this book. I love how the main character gets a time out in his room. And instead of being stuck in there with sadness and gloom, he decides to go on an amazing adventure with his imagination. And so Max went to the place where all the wild things are. So we're drawing wild things today. Yes, yes. I drew this picture of me having wild rumpus time with my wild things here. I gave myself a crown because if I went where the wild things are, I would be queen of all the wild things. I have taken the time to draw this with different kinds of wild things. I have had fun drawing wild things this week, and I wanted to share that with you. So let's get started. I'm going to put these things to the side, start with a clean piece of paper. But first, you might want to pause the video for this because there are different shapes of heads. And if you want to make it more complicated than what I'm going to show, pause the video. And these are some heads, some examples of different kinds of heads with noses that you could use. Or if you just want to make a silly wild thing, here's maybe some cool mouths you can use, with different kinds of teeth, different kinds of smiles, that sort of thing. And the eyes definitely make each wild thing look different. They can look afraid or angry or worried or bored. There are different kinds of noses. You can add a horn on a nose, or you could just come up with some of your own. But I'm going to take you through step by step to draw a couple of different wild things. And I'm just going to do this from my imagination. Every time I do it, I come up with something different. So I'm going to draw two so that I can draw me in the middle. So I'm going to start on the right with an oval here, and on the left with an oval over here. And then I'm going to add the heads. Now these wild things have some big heads. So that's a really strange shaped head, but that's okay. This one, I'm just going to make the head come up and down like so, like that. All right. Now, normally I make the horns going up. I curve up and curve down. And I curve up and curve down. This one, I decided I want the horns to point down like this on both sides. Yes. Good. These wild things had big noses. So I'm going to do a big nose over here. That's an oval. And a big nose over here. I'm going to add some wide nostrils on the side. And some bumps all over the nose. Creepy. Okay. Next, I'm going to add the mouth. So I add this little line, and I'm going to give this wild thing some curved teeth with a bumpy line underneath like this. Over here, I want to give this wild thing some pointy teeth. I'm going to make the ones on the end longer than the ones in the middle. So the ones on the ends are much longer, sort of like fangs, huh? Next, big eyes. Big eyes. Now this guy, I'm going to make his eyes look fierce by starting with a leaning line and then curve underneath to make it look like a semicircle. Then that's the middle of the eye, make a circle in there. I'm going to do it over here, a semicircle. Mr. Max was not afraid of the wild things. He was not even afraid one bit. He made friends with them. I'm going to make these eyes cross-eyed. Good. These wild things had arms and legs, so I'm going to do some legs over here like this, and some legs over here like this. Make these legs a little bit wider. Good. I'm going to add some really big feet over here and some big toes. Big toes. And arms. So they're having a wild rumpus, so I'm going to make the arms going up. Arms going up. Good. Let's add some claws. They look like triangles, right? On the hands and feet for this guy over here. And then, what shall we do over here? I think I'm just going to give him fingers like this. 1, 2, 3. No one really has 3 fingers, but I wanted him to be different. Okay, this guy is going to be a hairy, furry wild thing. He's got hair all over. He is a hairy wild thing. So I'm going to cover him with some little lines that make him look furry. If I'm ever going too fast, please push pause on the video so you can catch up. Yes. This is fun every time I make wild things. They are fun because I get to be creative and I get to decide how different I'm going to make them from the ones I've made before. Good. This guy over here, I'm just going to give him some lines on his shirt. I'm going to give him some zigzags just so he doesn't look so plain. And on his knees, I'm going to put a spiral right here and a spiral right there for his other knee. Good. And up here, I'm going to draw a moon. I'm going to do a crescent moon because it's going to be night. Now down here by their legs, I'm going to make a line on this side and then a line that goes behind and over to the edge of the page because I want to show where the ground is because the little person that I'm going to draw has got to fit right here. It's much smaller than the wild things, you know? So I'm going to start by just using simple shapes to add a person to this. I'm using a square, a couple of rectangles, some ovals for the shoes. Remember, pause this video if I am going too fast. Oval for the head, the arms. Wait, this person is celebrating with the wild rumpus too. I'm just going to add some little circles on the end for the hands because I am drawing really small and it's hard to get all those details in there. I'm going to add the crown. It goes up, down, up, down, up, down for the crown. Or add the hair however you like. Okay? Put an M on here. This could be for Max or it could be for Mrs. M. It's fantastic. It is fun to draw these kinds of things. And over and over, I've been drawing my wild things. I'm going to sign this one. I think this one's great. I've been drawing wild things and Some of them I haven't finished. Like this one, I just haven't finished. But I'm going to come back with my colors and add the sky because nothing looks better than when you color the entire page. Only thing left white here are the teeth of the wild things and this moon. Everything else is color. This sky has some gray, it has black, it has blue, it has purple. It is just a really spooky looking sky. But they are having the time of their lives at the Wild Rumpus. Well, I hope you had fun here today, and I hope you have a chance to read this book, Where the Wild Things Are, Story and Pictures by Maurice Sendak. And my drawings today were inspired by this book, and I hope it inspires you too to make your own wild things and have your own wild rumpus. Remember, art makes you smart. Come back and draw with me again someday. Bye.